Hi, this is lesson 5 of about the Holy Spirit. And just a review as far as asking yourself, does God know my name? And what gifts or talents has the Spirit given you? What is the condition of your heart? Is it willing and open to be led by the Spirit? And are you wise-hearted? Are you someone that God can use? Today's lesson is found in Numbers 11:16 through 29. A little background information. Now, there were many people comprising the 12 tribes of Israel, and Moses was under a lot of pressure. In verse 11, he complains to God and asks, "Why have you laid such a burden of all these people on me?" In verse 14, Moses states, "I am not able to bear all these people alone because it is too heavy for me." So in verse 16, God tells Moses to gather 70 men of the elders of Israel, of the people, and officers over them, and bring them to the tabernacle that they might stand there with Moses. And in verse 17, God said, "And I will come down and talk with you there. And I will take of the Spirit which is upon thee, and will put it upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with you, that you won't have to bear it alone." In verse 24, after talking to the people about what God had said regarding asking for meat to eat, Moses took the 70 elders and set them round about the tabernacle. And in verse 25, the Lord came down in a cloud and spoke to Moses, and took of the Spirit that was upon Moses, and gave it unto the 70 elders. God had given Moses the Spirit, and also skills and understanding and discernment. But because Moses was just one man and there were so many people, God took the Spirit and gave it also to 70 elders. And it came to pass, when the Spirit rested upon them, that they prophesied and did not cease. In verse 26, there were 2 of the men that were named on the list that remained in the camp and weren't at the tabernacle. That was Eldad and Medad. And the Spirit also rested on them. And just think, their name was written down. And so God knew where they were, and He also gave them, the Spirit also rested on them. And they prophesied in the camp. So in verse 27, a young man ran and told Moses about them. He went and told them, "Hey, Medad and Eldad are in the camp prophesying." Joshua, son of Nun, servant of Moses, said, "My lord Moses, forbid them." He was wanting Moses to tell them to quit. But in verse 29, Moses told Joshua, "Do you envy for my sake? Would God that all his people were prophets, and that the Lord would put his Spirit upon them." So Moses says that God would that all his people were prophets, and that he could put his Spirit on all of them. So God took of the talents and wisdom and knowledge that Moses had to rule the people, and gave it to the 70 elders of the people to ease Moses' burden. Does God hope that we will be wise-hearted and spiritually minded so as to receive the gifts from Him? We should ask ourselves this. Thank you, and I'll be preparing the next lesson.